Kama nilivyoarifu kabla tuende mapumziko mafupi ni kwamba katika jukwaa langu niko na wenye ambao wako na maswali kwa jukwaa ambalo liko hapo mbele. Kwa hivyo tutaanza naye binti huyu anayefahamika kama Mutai. Atuambie ni swali gani hilo ambalo anasema anataka kuuliza. Karibu.
Tumruhusu Pauline kusema jambo manake she wants to rush somewhere and we appreciate that she's been with us all the way. Surprisingly sisi wote tumekaa, it's been quite a long session. So briefly Pauline, alafu tukuje kwako.
Kabla uondoke ningependa kusikia kutoka kwako. What is that which needs to be done to ensure that we have more women on table? Because today as it is, I can literally say that it's like 20% of the 100 of us, or rather 100%. What is that one thing or two things which need to be done to ensure that we have more women on table?
Thank you so much. One thing you need to do is whenever there's an opportunity, grab it. Go for it. If you know you are qualified, you have all it takes, go for it. Don't wait for it to be given to you. Kama kuna nafasi ya wewe kukaa kwenye hiyo meza ya mahali wakuwa na keti na unajua uko na yale yote ambayo anastahili, why not give it a shot? That is my advice. Grab any opportunity that comes your way and you feel you have what it takes. Don't wait for it to be given to you. And use stairs, don't use lift. Kama unanielewa hivyo. Nasikia? Tumia stairs, not lift. But if you know you have everything and there's an opportunity and you feel you are qualified, you can do it, just give it a shot. Wanasema it's better to try than never to do it. Na usije ukalalamika kwamba light ningelijua. Just put it there, wacha waamue. Another one it comes hivyo. Nafasi huja mara nyingi. So opportunities ikija, if this one you miss this one, there's another one. Just like that. But also learn to open your aerials. Don't stick in one place for long. Open your aerials. There are so many opportunities out here for women. Go for those opportunities. Open your aerials. Don't stagnate in one place. You can work in that place for some time for you to get the skills, experience, and everything. But always be open for other opportunities. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pauline Shegu. We appreciate your contribution this evening. I think we release you in good faith. Thank you so much.
Magari
lazima ulale mapema sasa, unajua?
Na nawaalika nyote mje. Thank you so much.
Pale nayo inakuanga hatari kidogo. Ni hatari tena lakini watu watakuja.
Mje.
Asante.
Ninawaalika. Otherwise, thank you so much for giving me this chance to come and talk about women and leadership, and also to give our experience and to motivate the young ones, our Gen Zs. We love you so much. And we pray that you succeed in the next level, in the next future, in the next life. We pray for your success. But all in all, mkumbuke Mungu. Wacha Mungu akuongoze. Atawale maisha yako. Asante.
Asante. We have about 20-25 minutes to close it, so we come to you, please.
Thank you very much. My name is Mutai. I am a resident at Bomet County, but of course, I've also lived in Nairobi. So I do have a question, but before that, I just want to say that there's been a question that has been raised here on the floor, and it has been an elephant in the room. Well, it is a question about you being a woman. What do you bring to the table? First of all, I just want to tell you that you're bringing nothing to the table because you are the ground that table is standing on. So tell them that if the ground cracks, then the table falls and it breaks.
Beautiful.
Thank you. So I would love to direct my question to our doctor-to-be by her doctorate. In the recent elections that were done in the USA, in the context that you've said that Africa is a patriarchal society in that way, we had Hillary Clinton, and recently we did have Kamala Harris, and both contestants did not really win. They're not right now the presidents of the United States, but now I'm really concerned as to why they didn't win. Is it a question of gender or is it a question of agenda? Because yes, in Europe, like Italy, we've had Giorgia Meloni as the prime minister. We've also had the Ireland prime minister, who is a female, but I can't remember her name. But they have been extreme fascist or conservatives. So my question is, can a woman be moderate and still win the elections? Does she have to be extreme? Does she have to be someone who really is opposed to migration in that way? Take, for example, the prime minister of... the opposition to the Prime Minister of Britain, that is Kemi Badenoch, who is actually the Conservative, or rather the Tory party leader right now. She's so opposed to migration in a way that it even got her be elected as the party leader. And she's probably going to take over from Keir Starmer very soon. Well, is it a question of gender? They didn't win? Or is it a question of agenda? Were they not too extreme enough for the people to vote in for them? And before I also hand over the mic, there was also the thing on the 2/3 gender rule. Mm-hmm. Well, I believe that women are prolific in nature. We have the ability to give birth, and we also have the ability to raise these kids. So women are actually bestowed with the responsibility of nurturing a child's constitution, such that when this child grows up, they know what is right and what is logic. Mm-hmm. And sometimes we have to do what is logic and not what is... and sometimes we have to do what is right and not what is logic. Here's the thing. Women have... I think we have voting rights, and we should exercise it. So, take for example, in Kenya, we have 21 million people. I want to assume that among those 21 million people, 7 million people were women. And how is it that these women couldn't vote for the women who were on the ballot? And I must say that it's not really a question of how the dexterity or the kind of service that these people are going to deliver. You know, it's not about, is this person qualified for? It's not about, the Kenyan politics is not about credibility. It is about how famous you are and whether you've got money and all that. So what if we women gang up and say, we're only going to vote for women? And in a position where the women aren't really going up for it, why don't we have a lot of women so that you can spread a lot of votes? And by spreading these votes, we wouldn't really know whether a woman is going to land on this position. That is how we're going. But if you're a woman also who is aspiring to be a leader, then you have to know that you have to play their game. These men are playing games, so play their game. Don't play nice. If you play nice, of course, like they've said, you're never going to get the corner office. So what you first need is challenge yourself. Are your public optics good? Are the voter metrics good? Do you have also financial muscle, which is something very important to consider while running for office, financial muscle. Otherwise, thank you very much, and I would love it if you answered my question.
This one can make us listen to her a million, you know, as if we all have... She speaks so well, yeah? Yeah?
Yes, please.
So it goes there, or you want to say something? Okay.
Yes. So good evening, everyone. Yeah, so my name is Caroline Mboya, from Kenyatta University, a student leader. Yeah. The Congressperson, School of Pure and Applied Sciences, and also the Deputy Speaker of Kenyatta University. I'm standing here also to say I'm the first ever Congressperson in that School of Pure and Applied Sciences.
Good.
Thank you so much. So my take today is about leadership and mentorship. We are talking about leadership. I will go straight to what I went through. It's not easy. Tusijidanganye. It's not easy. First and foremost, when I was preparing for my campaigns, you prepare with a lot of things. You change people's minds and tell them that, you know, I can do this. I'm the 20th Congress. The rest, 19th, were male. So what should I tell them so that they can believe that I'll actually take this school to the greater heights that I would want? We have that. Another thing is financial support. Let me tell you, we really need female leaders who will come to the ground and mentor these rising female aspirants or rising female leaders. Let me tell you, the male politicians are there to support. They are very ready, but it comes with a lot of consequences. Back in my school, you will find a male person telling you that you cannot get that seat unless I sleep with you. We get through a lot. You go to a politician, You ask for money. But we'll tell you what, I won't give you until you sleep with me. You're there stranded. There is no any female leader you can run to. I usually say that I admire Millie Odhiambo so much, but getting to her, you see? Yeah, but we have male politicians who are very ready. So me, I am standing here today to tell any lady that we can do this. Without any support of, I don't know, money or kupanua miguu, we can do this. Go there, self-brand, have that self-branding. Brand yourself. Vile tu tumeambiwa, walk like a leader, talk like a leader. Give them things. May usually say that when a woman gets into leadership, he has to have a heart of a mother, a heart that is caring, that is compassionate, that will see anything that goes wrong, anabadilisha. Ukichaguliwa pia, enda pale fanya kazi. I've scaled to different heights from my primary school, my high school, and my university level, and I know that I'll scale high because I give people what they want. When we go there to the seats, let us work hard to change this narrative that mwanamke akifika pale hakuna kitu anaweza fanya. Another thing is male counterparts have noticed that we are so emotional. So emotional. Hata utasikia, when you want maybe to be the president of the school, you'll be told that huyu akishikwa tu hivi anaanza kulia. Ama they will come to you, bring you down, or nataka to date nitakusaidia, because they know that we are emotionally down.
Vulnerable, yeah.
So kindly rise up. Kuna vitu zingine hazifai kukuweka na the focus that you have to have. Don't get distracted until you reach there. Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much. I think we come back to you, Madam HR, first of all, to respond to that. But also, I'll highlight something about the workplace culture, because you realize that there are a lot of concerns that are coming out of this. Sometimes you want to ask yourself, when they tell you to be a bad girl, what do they exactly mean? Do they exactly mean that, put the best photo on WhatsApp and text this boss and tell them I want a job? Or what exactly do they mean?
I think that I don't know how to, it's very hard when we're discussing job opportunities, because on one hand we're saying there are no job opportunities and we have a lot of unemployed youth. On the other hand, we are actively in my field telling people who want to enter the job market, or if you're in the job market, that you cannot and should not stay in toxic work environments. Mental health comes first, so those kind of things. So, but the fact remains is, if work cultures are created normally in an ideal situation, bottom up, right? So the bottom up approach is used when you're creating a workplace culture. However, in more traditional leadership styles, which you see in Africa, in Greater Africa, it's the top to bottom. So you get told, like, hey, this is how things are done. Women serve the tea. The boss's door is always closed. Nobody gets to ask questions after the meeting. Cultures like that are normally from bottom up. But what I'd say is that, and this is something that we all get to learn from Gen Zs. We were talking about it during tea break. I was even here a couple of months ago when we were talking about Gen Zs in the workplace, and they're teaching us things that we probably already knew, probably needed a reality check on, and some things that we didn't even know that we needed to make life easier. And one of them is they're taking the high road on a lot of issues. So when a lot of generations before Gen Z tended to look the other way when a man put his hand up your skirt, or said something or did something like, because you refuse me to do that, you don't get a promotion. But Gen Z will walk out, even leave the salary. I've seen it happening. Leave that month's salary and say, goodbye, take care, have a good life, and then walk out of there. So those are things that we need to, I know it's in this economy, it's tough, but I'd say to anyone out there, you were talking about how you are that's not a culture you want to live in. It's not a big why, because it's not a culture you'll thrive in. You will get through burnout, You will get through different levels, nuanced abuses, and you will never grow. You'll never thrive. There'll be no promotion. So you dodged a bullet, yes. Is it difficult in this economy? Yes. I'm just saying, but once you're in a place, remember your voice makes a difference. And this is what we're saying about women in leadership as well. If you decide to take a back seat, if you decide not to push those boundaries, then you will always be stagnated. So like you were saying earlier, we're done with the Book of Lamentations. Yes. We really need to be. It's 2025. You guys are a whole new generation. I know you come from a similar age group here. It ends with us. That's your motto leaving this room. It ends with us. So if you can change it, change it. By all means, that's your role. That's why you're probably in this, being put into this world anyway. If you cannot change it, then you use it to step on and leap. That's how it is, okay? So I feel like to answer to the question that you were raising about, so I'm not a political analyst, neither do I know about American politics. All I know is when I said that Kenya is a patriarchal society, I did not say the West isn't. America, one thing it's known for, especially when it comes to politics, is being very, very patriarchal. It's a man-led, white man, you know, rich man, oil-rich man. Yeah, like it's like all that. So women don't stand that chance. However, because the women in the West speak louder, they tend to have policies and laws and reach further than we do here. Maybe it's to do with the religion. You know, we're religious people, we're cultural people, so we tend to be. And this is something else, and it's coming out here, is let's not lose our femininity in this war. I'm calling it a war because that's what it sounds like. It's not. But as we progress and charter our way, as we're carving this road for the girls that you guys are going to birth, and their daughters and the daughters after that, we need to remember that our femininity is our superpower. I know that the bad girl, you know, has become such a thing to say now, lose the good girl syndrome. And I feel so sad when I hear these things, because why do I need to be bad? Why can't I be good and still make strides? And so I feel like, and that's where toxic femininity comes in, where you're in collision. You're in a collision course versus, no, we're walking this together with the men. And my femininity, the fact that I can be a boss and a CEO at work and go home and still cook for my husband and my kids, and be a mother and a wife, and you know, just go and do the things that a loving woman would do for a husband, doesn't mean that ati nimejangusha, ati now look at her, ata hana, you know, she doesn't have value for herself. No, I'm just saying that let's not lose that. Once we lose that, we're losing everything else. So, but another thing, I know you said it in a good way when you said, what do you bring to the table? We get asked this a lot. It's off-putting, because if you interviewed me and him, and we both had the same credential, you know what I'm bringing on the table. But probably the response to it saying, oh, I'm the ground that the table is put on, can come off, and like the comment that you read, and a lot of men who tend to think like we are, as women, using this as a free pass. We're saying, hey, it's my right, I deserve it, affirmative action, you know, it's my right, it's my right. You have to work for your bread.
Right.
Like everyone has to. We all work for our bread. We don't just say, you know, that kind of thing. However, I know that it's a path with a lot of thorns. So, like Mercy was saying, go. You've done your BA, you've done your bachelor's now. Do your masters. Keep climbing up, so that we don't seem to be like, hey, we're just riding this wave. We actually are worth our salt.
Before we move out from you, I'll ask again. You've spoken of balancing family and leadership, especially at work. And then there are many women who will tell you that our husbands are not so willing to support us to work and to be in these leadership positions. Then how would you advise such women?
Without sounding like a homebreaker, because I really don't want to. I think we talk about culture of workplace culture. It's the same thing when you're going back home. So you can't have a perfect workplace culture and then go home where you have to dim your light because a man's ego won't allow you to shine bright. I have been a victim of such a marriage. So it didn't end well. because my wings just could not have been put in that cage. They, you know, at the end of the day, it finds a way. Just like you put that dam that you're trying to block will eventually erupt, and I erupted, right? And so I walked out of what I know was a mentally abusive relationship, because you can't be clipped your wings all the time. And it took me a long time, and it was the hardest decision, because again, unconscious biases. We are told a woman has to have a man, you know, a woman has to have a partner. Of course, for those who are religiously inclined, you can't have sex out of marriage. There's so many things that come with this marriage title. So what happens? Am I going to be alone the rest of my life? Will I ever have kids? But I chewed that, you know, bit that bullet, and many years later, met a man who just kept fanning my flames. So manifest, and they're there. Like we keep saying, women don't fight each other. And when we say all men are like this, no, they're not. Trust me, there are so many out there. I work with them. My mother has raised them, because when I look at my brothers, I know these are men who are going to tell their woman, okay, you're done with this degree. When are you going for the next? You know, that job is holding you down. Okay, so the thing, and now the next thing, you are raising the generation of men that we need, the ones who are going to be married to those empowered women, and you also play a role in that. So all I'm saying is, don't settle.
Okay.
Yeah, don't settle, don't settle. Yeah.
Time is almost out completely.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Rev, we come to you quickly. There's a lady who sends a text to say, we had maendeleo ya wanawake, it's still there for years, but it only revolves around those who are high-profile ladies. Do you suppose that some of these critical aspects of the conversation around getting the woman up there have largely been left for the elite?
Well, yeah, and no. One of the major issues that you find around women, elitist women, is they tend to gang up. Because, well, in geography we used to be told the higher you go, the cooler it becomes. Yeah, and there's also the oval chair at the top. So that is one of a paradigm shift we need. That when we get up there, we lift others. Women don't do that. They now want to be alone up there. And probably that is why I will differ. Some of our friends said, is it that women are their own worst enemies? There are people who like to be on their own, and the top are a bit like that. And that's why you find maendeleo ya wanawake, major chamas and stuff like that. If you look at some of the, you know, the banks that are coming up right now are trying to break that. If you look at Stanbic, with the dada account, that is where women need to go, because they are biased towards offering chances to women-led companies, or even a company that a woman, just one woman, even if there are 3 men. Those dada accounts, KCB have done a very good job in terms of breaking that kind of clique to bring women into business clubs. But yes, what you're saying is right. But there's one thing that is keeping on disturbing me. She said, there's something she said that we haven't reacted to, which is, people really ready, are men ready to deal with the empowered woman? Yeah, because now she's just cited that example of, you can't live with this toxicity. Yeah, and so are men also led in that particular way? You know, that they can live with an empowered woman. When they are not, when the woman, you look at most, and you said, data does not lie. It is true, data is, it always says the truth. You see women there at the top, most of them are divorcees, because they are powerful people, and they've been divorced. So they have these bentens. You see these other issues of young boys and stuff like that, and you know, because biology is biology. So again, you find there are those circles that also, from your question, if I have a benten, I'm likely to be a friend to someone with a benten.
Okay.
You see those kind of whatever. So they end up being a clique around themselves, and so they don't empower other women. But if that were to be removed, if there was a way that they would feel they are not structured to protect themselves, they would be able to reach out. Because for me, relationships, when you're growing up, there's got to be a relationship with a mentor, a relationship with a coach. Someone has to coach you. You also have to coach someone else. Someone has to mentor you. You also must be somebody's mentee. You see, when we now deal with those kind of issues, we have networks, and this network somehow will get us out of the rat race.
Beautiful. Extremely out of time. 30 seconds for you, Doc, to give us your parting shots.
Okay, my parting shot is that inclusion is good for everyone. When you have both men and women bringing different skills, different psychology into the table, we are able to achieve much. And for me, I look forward to a day where we will not need affirmative action, where men and women will play roles within the society that is beneficial to everyone, bringing both their skills. And for organizations and even for the system, how can we support women to become better? One, sponsor women, not just mentor them. Sponsor them in rooms where they are not there. That is the only way you can be able to get a woman to lead when they are not a leader yet.
Beautiful. Yeah. Two people, 30 seconds as we close, please.
Okay, thank you so much for having us. Of course, I feel like one of the great leaders in this country now, and I own that title. This was a really brilliant session, and I believe my take home as a lady is we need to bring value to the table. In as much as we are busy venting and ranting about our past experiences, that value that we bring will help our fellow men, our brothers, and our fellow bosses be able to accommodate us. So as women, let us bring value to the table. And also, you cannot make a first impression twice. So let us work on how we look, how we present ourselves, and we will be there. Thank you so much.
Beautiful. Unfortunately, we are told that we can't take another one because of time. But ladies, we appreciate your contribution this evening. Special thanks to Pauline Shegu in absence, as well as Dr. Elizabeth Gitau, minor medical doctor and health system specialist, Health Care Federation Board Director, Najahan, regional people and culture and transformational leadership expert, as well as Reverend Dr. Kathy. Asante sana as well for the great insights that you have accorded to us and every other lady on set. It was great having you. My name is Linda Alela. Do have yourself a lovely night.
Bila shaka jina langu Elizabeth Mutuku, tumesikiza ya wanawake na kuyaangazia zaidi. Lakini wakati ambapo tunatoka katika ukumbi huu, ukweli ni kwamba tunaondoka tukijua kwamba tuna nafasi ya kuelimisha na kuwashika wanawake wengine mkono kuhakikisha kwamba wanaingia katika nafasi za uongozi. Jina langu ni Elizabeth Mutuku, kiongozi wa sasa, sio kesho.
Bila shaka, Liz, thank you so much for everyone who made time for this very informative session that we just had. Being here for 4 hours and just discussing on how best we can bridge the gap when it comes to gender equality. And my key take home is we really need to invest in young women. We have seen great potential from our audience, so we need to ensure that the young women also get a table or a seat at the center of global discussions. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Elizabeth Atieno.
Asante. Good night.